My name is Jim Kaluka, and I am disgruntled. How about you, Frank?
Yeah, I'm a little bit disgruntled.
Like we said at the top of the show, it just does not feel like Wrestlemania season. We're going to go through the match card. We're going to go through the card match by match. We got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Me personally, I have no interest in that match for the simple fact that Cesaro won it last year and ended up doing nothing. So it's no guarantee. If I had to make a guess, either Ryback or Sheamus. How about you?
What, to win that battle royal?
Yes.
You know what? I think Sheamus will be the surprise entrant and he'll win.
I hope so. I want him to stay as far away from Daniel Bryan as possible.
Yeah.
Because I will be.
That's another guy, speaking of being force fed, Sheamus.
He's not even back, and I'm already sick of him.
That's one guy I think I might dislike more than anybody. I really don't. I don't see it with that guy. He's pretty good. His work's pretty good, but I don't see why he should get like top status and titles.
He's been booked better for WrestleMania than Bryan has, and he's not even there.
At best, that guy should be a tag team guy.
You want to know what's funny? He had his best match with the Big Show. Think about that.
I don't even see that's another thing. When you look at people's work, tell me a memorable match about this guy.
Like I just said, the Hell in a Cell.
It could go about anybody. Tell me a memorable match.
A memorable match. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Hell in a Cell.
What?
Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels inside the cell.
About a specific wrestler. And Sheamus, what's a memorable match with him?
The World Heavyweight title match he had with the Big Show at Hell in a Cell. It wasn't in the cell. It was just a one-on-one match. I felt it was memorable. I actually enjoyed that match.
Okay. I mean, all right. And anything else?
Not really.
Maybe a memorable match with Roman Reigns as a singles competitor.
Maybe have.
Maybe the last one with Daniel Bryan.
The 2 out of 3.
And maybe Randy Orton. But if you look back at that match, Randy Orton carried that match.
No, of course, because Orton's Orton. As much as I'm sick of him being in the main events, I mean, the guy's still a great worker. Just because I get sick of somebody doesn't make them any less of a good athlete.
Can we name some memorable Daniel Bryan matches?
Too many to name. I mean, he's had the match he had with Triple H, the triple threat match with Batista and Orton, the match with Bray Wyatt at the Rumble, the match with John Cena at SummerSlam, the tag team, the 6-man tag that him and Kane and Undertaker had against the Shield. The first match the Shield ever had included Daniel Bryan and Kane and Ryback. I would even go so far as to say the match that Daniel Bryan had with Cesaro on Monday Night Raw during the gauntlet that he was running, which was Jack Swagger, Cesaro, and Ryback, leading up to SummerSlam. The match he had with Cesaro, which was fucking incredible.
Did Bryan and Punk ever go toe-to-toe?
Yes, they did. I didn't get to 2012 yet. The 2 matches that they had one-on-one in 2012 were excellent, in which Punk won both those matches.
Listen, we don't have to go through every match, but that proves that I'm trying to prove my point.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan could have a good match with almost anybody.
Cena has memorable matches.
Well, of course, but the haters will never give him credit. Whatever, it is what it is. The next match we have on the card is the 6-man Intercontinental. I have to go in terms of how much attention it's been given and how much the people actually give a shit about it. It disgusts me. I don't care what anyone says. It disgusts me to no end that Daniel Bryan is in a bullshit match for a bullshit title. As much as I love the Intercontinental Championship for what it's used to stand for, that belt has been meaningless for 10 years, and I do not want my favorite wrestler having to be touched by the stench of the Intercontinental title. Because, let me explain something to you people. And Frank, you need to let me go off on this. The Intercontinental Champions in the last 10 years have been nothing short of shit. Okay. Wade Barrett has yet to win a one-on-one match on Monday Night Raw as the Intercontinental Champion. If we had Monday Night Raw back in the 1980s and 90s, you think Mr. Perfect would be doing jobs cleanly on Raw? Was Bret Hart doing clean jobs as the Intercontinental Champion? Was Shawn Michaels doing clean jobs as Intercontinental Champion? Dolph Ziggler has, Wade Barrett has, Luke Harper has. Pretty much everyone who's had the Intercontinental title in the last 10 years has been doing jobs cleanly on Raw, regularly. Why in the fuck? Now I'm going to get vulgar. Why in the Why in the fuck would I want him doing that? I really don't care what anyone thinks. He is a main eventer. He is the most popular guy you have. The New York Islanders, the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Seattle Seahawks. That's just 3 out of the 5 teams. The San Francisco Giants. The Phoenix Suns. How many more fucking teams got to jump on this Yes Movement bandwagon for you to fucking get it? This is so retarded. It is so retarded. The only way this fucking match works is if he wins the Intercontinental title, defends it regularly, victoriously, and goes on to win the WWE title. And I will not settle for anything less than that. Because I got news for you. Roman Reigns is not over. He cannot talk. And he cannot have a good match on his own. Because let me explain something to you guys. This guy here is in a class by himself. And you could call his fans crybabies. You could call them marks. I don't give a shit. The fans have been telling you who they want for 2 fucking years. And if the WWE chooses to not listen, they get what they deserve. Frank, what's your take on this Intercontinental blunder?
Well, the only time an Intercontinental Champion or a U.S. Champion should lose on free TV is either by count-out, disqualification,
or no contest.
Or if they are going to go over lose clean, it should be a non-title match to set up a big feud.
He should not be, the Intercontinental and U.S. Champion should not be losing regularly on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown.
They can lose regularly, but by count-out, disqualification, the only time they should lose clean, meaning by a pin or a submission, is to set up a feud.
Which 9 times out of 10, it's never the case.
Right.
So who's your pick for this match? Personally, I think Barrett's walking away with the belt.
I don't see how you can't put it on Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's going to win. I would choose Dean Ambrose, but I think Dean Ambrose is going to win the Money in the Bank this year.
He should. I absolutely would endorse that 100%, because my story would be Rollins holds the belt all the way into WrestleMania 32. Reigns, Ambrose, and Rollins for the belt. WrestleMania 32. See, that's why I didn't want Roman Reigns to main event this year, because I wanted him to main event next year and win the belt. But I do not want to see him win the belt 2 years in a row when it's clear as crystal he's not over. And if this continues, the booking that he's getting, he's not going to be over next year, because the fans don't want to have a guy force-fed to them, but we're jumping the gun. So you're picking Bryan for this Intercontinental title match?
I don't see how you can't. You have to put the flyer out. I'm telling you, keeping the belt, putting the IC belt on Bryan will cease and desist all the hijacks of the shows and the fan disgruntled. At least he'll be a champion. And like you said, if he's a fighting champion and wins and has great matches, then what more can you ask? It'll only build the anticipation and build him even further.
It's the only belt he hasn't won in WWE, which is interesting.
Right. I don't know. They got away from that. It used to be you win the Intercontinental Championship first. You get your run with that, and then it's an audition for the heavyweight belt for the main event.
Which is my entire problem, is because he's already been the heavyweight champion and the fans loved it, and instead of putting him back where he belongs, they just said fuck him. He doesn't have the look. It's
okay as long as he becomes a great fighting Intercontinental champion.
That's the only way I'd be okay with it, personally.
He doesn't lose every other night. He has great matches and he wins.
You think that's asking too much, Frank? I actually think that that's being reasonable, considering that he belongs in the main events.
He could have great matches against. He could go up against. You could put Rusev against him for the IC belt. You could put. I don't know.
You could put it. To me, he's a guy you could put anybody in the ring with him, and he'll make them look good.
Right, I'm saying you could have great matches against Ziggler down the road for the IC belt.
I think that those two should have had a one-on-one match just to see who was better, and I think that would have been a match. And the reason that match isn't going to happen is because Vince McMahon is no dummy, I guess, because he knows that if Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan have a 20-25 minute match, it'll make Reigns and Brock look like they're standing still.
Of course, but I mean, I mean, these are possible matches you could have down the road. You could have a summer feud, a summer series with Bryan and Ziggler leading up to SummerSlam.
I wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll make the fans happy. And then you could strike. You could strike later on. Whenever Bryan, you take the title from Bryan, then he could say, hey, you could say, hey, look, I've been great Intercontinental Champion. He's been having the best matches, and now he's ready to take his title back.
I hope that that's what they do, Frank, because I'm going to be very honest with you. My fear is that no matter how over he gets, no matter how popular he is, no matter how much the fans love him, they're not going to give a shit, and they're never going to put this title back on him. That's my fear. As a fan, that's my fear.
Yeah, maybe, but who knows?
Yeah. Next, we have Rollins versus Orton. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind Rollins is going over, unless the directive is for him to lose and then cash in successfully, which I would not mind, because then that opens the door for Orton versus Rollins for the belt, because Orton could turn around and say, yeah, you may have cashed in and won the belt, but at WrestleMania, I beat you. So technically, I'm the number one contender.
Rollins doesn't have to win.
No, he does not have to win. He does not have to win, but I would prefer.
Great matches.
They'll probably steal the show. You know, as much as I hate the Intercontinental ladder match, they have a great chance of stealing the show. It's funny. I'm sorry to go back to the Bryan thing, but I heard the reasoning of they shouldn't put him in there with Brock because he just got hurt. You're putting him in a dangerous ladder match. How's that going to do?
Yeah, that's crap.
How's that going to do his health any favors?
That's crap.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got The Undertaker and Bray Wyatt. Okay. This is where the child in me has to step aside and the adult has to step in. I love The Undertaker, in case you don't know. That guy is my childhood hero. He is my personal hero in life. And the reason for that is because of what his character represents. He could take more punishment than anybody else could dish out. Unless he's fighting Brock Lesnar, because he's never beat him. Everyone's got that one hurdle in life that they just can't get over. And unfortunately for him, his is Brock Lesnar. Piece of shit that he is. Again, my opinion. Undertaker does not need to win this match. In my opinion. I think Bray Wyatt needs the win more. I think Bray Wyatt benefits more from winning than The Undertaker does. When did you ever think you'd ever hear me say Undertaker should lose at WrestleMania, Frank?
I don't know how to go about this match. This match needs to serve two purposes. Reestablish The Undertaker, and it needs to propel Bray Wyatt. Yes, absolutely. I am also a big advocate for Bray Wyatt eventually winning the WWE Championship, because to me, Bray Wyatt is the most all-around talented guy the WWE has. And when I say all-around talented, in case our viewers don't understand what that means, I'm not trying to be uppity. I'm just trying to, let you know what it means. Most all-around talented means that he's got all the intangibles. He could talk, he could wrestle, and he's got a character. Name another guy right now that has all three. Better than Bray Wyatt. There is nobody. There is nobody. I think though it's crucial that they have a good to above average match.
Oh, they will. A lot of people are writing off Taker because he had one bad match with Lesnar. You have to remember something. Taker got hurt 20 seconds into the match. So
but besides, I'm talking about Bray Wyatt. It's time to put up a shop. You can't go all your life, all your career with just promos.
No, of course not. He has to deliver. And I have a lot of faith that The Undertaker, who always gets better with age, I don't care what anyone says, the guy has consistently had great matches at WrestleMania, from WrestleMania 23 on, WrestleMania 30 notwithstanding. Bray Wyatt, in my opinion, should go over, and I am picking him as the winner. How about you, Frank?
I don't know, but I think he needs to show fans something really special. Maybe he needs to get sadistic and dish out some real punishment against The Undertaker.
I'm predicting that their entrances are going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah. I read today that they're gonna hire. They were hiring people for extras. They're gonna have people supposed to play scarecrows. I don't know who that's going to be for.
That's probably going to be for Wyatt because he comes from that farm west that farm Louisiana type swamp deal.
Or Sting.
It could be. I think Sting's entrance is going to be badass. We'll get into that match next. So we're both picking Bray Wyatt for this match.
I say
my mind said my heart says Undertaker, but my brain's telling me Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt needs it more. My heart selfishly wants The Undertaker to win. I never ever wanted to see the streak end, but to me, if it should have ended, it should have ended at the hands of Bray Wyatt. Because Brock Lesnar, to me, was already an established name, did not need to break the streak to become a big deal. He was already a big deal. He was already the biggest draw in the history of UFC before he ever even touched The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Now looking back on it, James, it was necessary because look at the way last year. It's made him the unbeatable monster.
Yeah, but they're going to feed him to Roman Reigns.
Yes, but as far as the Undertaker, if they have plans for next year, a Sting Undertaker match, I think you have to make the Undertaker go over. Win. Now he can win by the skin of his teeth, and Bray Wyatt could give him a vicious beating throughout the whole match, whatever. And then I'll get Bray Wyatt over. I don't think...
See, but the thing is, I think either way, you can go with the Undertaker-Sting match. Now, if let's just brainstorm, and you tell me what you think. If the Undertaker is to win, he could come out the next night and say, I proved my point, I don't need the streak, so now it's time for me to retire. Call, Sting comes out. However...
He is scheduled to appear on Raw after WrestleMania.
Who?
Undertaker.
Oh, he is?
And I read that it's supposedly it's going to be to put over Bray Wyatt.
I have no problem with that. Bray Wyatt to me is an all-around talented guy. I absolutely love him. I think
I think maybe that could be he puts over Bray Wyatt, or there's another possibility that they're going to set up the Undertaker Sting match.
If they have any brains whatsoever, regardless of the Undertaker Bray Wyatt finish, which also, if the Undertaker was to lose, I think it would even cement the story even better. For the Undertaker to come out and say, I lost to Brock, and now I fall into Bray Wyatt, I don't have it anymore. It's time for me to retire. So either way, the Undertaker at the end of the statement, whether he wins or loses, says, okay, it's time for me to go, for good this time. And just as he's about to leave, Sting shows up and says, not so fast, Undertaker.
You know what, though, James? I think the Undertaker should win because it'll make the Brock Lesnar win more special because then...
Nobody else has the distinction of beating him. I understand where you're coming from.
Right. I think that's the way they're going to go. I think Undertaker...
Which, honestly, I won't be heartbroken if that doesn't happen. I just don't want Bray Wyatt to go 2 years in a row where he gets defeated. Handily.
It's wins or losses don't always matter. It's about how good he looks, and especially if the next night Undertaker comes out and says Bray Wyatt is the real deal. Nobody will remember that, and the fans could understand somebody losing to the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
I mean, listen, there's no shame in losing to the Undertaker. Absolutely not, especially at WrestleMania. I just want to see Bray Wyatt succeed. That's all.
Yeah. So to close it up, I think Undertaker needs to win to set up next year, and Bray Wyatt needs to have a
good showing. Okay. Now we're up to. Go ahead.
It's a win-win. They both go over.
Okay. So now we're up to Triple H and Sting. I don't think there's any question Sting's going over. What do you have to say?
Yeah, he has to.
He has to. His first WrestleMania, he's got to go over. And I don't think Triple H minds doing the job. I don't think he minds at all. I think if anything, Triple H probably considers it an honor because he knows how highly Ric Flair thinks of Sting. Because without Ric, there is no Sting.
If you make Sting lose,
it destroys the whole purpose of him coming in.
You shortchange yourself. If he wins now, you could bring him into SummerSlam. You could bring him into Survivor Series.
Now that we've discussed both of those matches, I don't think there's any doubt in either one of our minds that the Undertaker and that Sting is going to go over. How would you have this entire angle between Taker and Sting start? Does Taker call him out, or does Sting show up and interrupt him? I personally think Sting should be the one that seeks him out. Because it's been obvious for years that that's what Sting wants. He wants the Undertaker. Undertaker's never ever made mention to Sting. So from a logical standpoint, Sting's coming into the Undertaker's backyard. The Undertaker has no reason to seek Sting out. Sting's got a reason to seek him out. That's how I look at it. I think the Undertaker, regardless of the finish of his match with Bray Wyatt, either way I'd be happy with it because I love the Undertaker. I just enjoy seeing him. I always will. Even if he comes out rolling out in a fucking wheelchair 20 years from now to say hello to the fans, I'll still love him because to me he's the man. To me there'll never be another Undertaker. I don't care who comes down the pipe. Whether it's Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin, I don't care. There's only one Undertaker. And you'll never see another one like him. He's once-in-a-lifetime character. But
yes. I think that speculation right now, you should hold off on it because until we actually see how Sting performs and how Undertaker performs.
Well, he looked good. Well, Sting looked good on Raw. Tell you right now, he looked great.
We got to see both of them go 10, 15 minutes.
Well, let me tell you something. I think Undertaker just had a very bad bump last year, and that's why the match wasn't all that great. Because if you look at because plus, not for nothing, look who they put him in there with. They put him in there with a fucking destroyer.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying. I'm just saying that you got to remember these guys are 50 plus years old. They Undertaker wrestles once a year. Sting has been working a light schedule for the last 10, 15 years. So until they get in the ring, that'll be the proof of the pudding.
Well, I gotta hope that they both have a strong showing because I want that dream match more than anything, Frank. I mean,
I think WWE has the right to hold off and see what happens.
I think that would be the major selling point for WrestleMania 32, especially because it's in Texas. You advertise it, it's the Undertaker's last match. It is Sting's last match, and it's against each other, and only one can win. There should be no smages. There should be no fucked finishes. There needs to be a winner, and there needs to be a loser. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's their.
I agree, but again, we have to see what happens in that match.
No, I'm hoping that I'm watching WrestleMania with you, Frank. I'll be honest with you.
I hope so too.
Then now we get to the main event. I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind that Roman Reigns is going over. That's another reason I'm starting to hate him, because they broke the streak to feed it to Roman Reigns. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, the money says Roman Reigns is going to win, but
I personally hope that Brock destroys him. I hope Brock Lesnar fucking annihilates him.
Listen, there's a lot of things, a lot of backstories to this match that, Brock Lesnar, is he going to sign or renew the deal? Does he keep the belt?
If Brock Lesnar keeps the belt, Frank, and Daniel Bryan and John Cena win their respective titles, and Brock still has a limited schedule, that will force those other two titles to step up.
Right. Well, I'm saying there could be a Paul Heyman swerve. Do they actually pull the trigger and turn Roman Reigns heel?
If they have any brains, they do, because Roman Reigns ain't getting over as a babyface.
If Brock Lesnar is going to be out the door, you put Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns. It takes care of his
exactly. It takes care of his talking problem because now he's got the greatest talker of all time talking, and it's not far fetched because, like Heyman said, managed several of the Samoans, has known Roman Reigns since he was small. Why wouldn't Paul Heyman want to be
and he's put him over so much, saying that he's probably the best ever besides Brock Lesnar. So.
Which you saw that when Paul Heyman was naming all those names that Roman Reigns was better than, the fans were booing vehemently.
Well, Paul Heyman was doing his job of putting Roman Reigns over, but by putting Paul Heyman with Roman Reigns, now you could promote Reigns as the badass heel, this badass champion who beat Lesnar, sent Lesnar packing out the door, and now you have a whole new ball of wax. What do you think about that?
I think that if they are going to make Roman Reigns, this is how I go with it. If Brock Lesnar is going to re-sign, he keeps the title. Keeps the title. No bullshit. because to me, to go with Roman Reigns after all the bullshit that's been going on with him would just continue to slap the fans in the face, because it's obvious they don't fucking want him. They don't want him in that position. And I'm sorry to whoever gets offended, but what the fans want is what the fans should get. I really don't care what some guy in a suit thinks. It's all about the audience. It's entertainment. Entertainment's all about entertaining the fans. And Roman Reigns is part of the reason that this WrestleMania does not feel like WrestleMania, because he's not over. Frank, is the guy over?
No, but all right, let's do a little fantasy booking. Let's say retains the belt. Roman Reigns, though, goes toe-to-toe with him, takes Brock Lesnar to the limit, he comes up a little short, and they have a rematch the next pay-per-view.
At Extreme Rules.
Yeah, and then maybe he could take it off from there, or you could have... Then you could do the swerve.
See, if they're gonna do a swerve like that, it should be at WrestleMania, because that'll make it memorable. Because at WrestleMania, if you do something at WrestleMania, it lives forever.
Right. Well, again, it all depends on
Lesnar's deal. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my money's on Roman Reigns. How about you?
That's a good idea. If Reigns takes him to the limit, even though he loses, he's still it's win-win. He still comes off. He is now a legitimate badass. He took Brock Lesnar to the limit. It looked believable. And now we have a rematch. It's Ali Fraser, too.
Well, like I said, any outcome where Roman Reigns wins the belt and as a babyface, I'm not for, because the fans are booing him. You do not fight your audience. You give them what they want. If they want to boo Roman Reigns, fine. Give them more of a reason to boo him. Make him an asshole. He's already kind of there, telling the fans to shut up when he's talking. No, we don't have to shut up when you're talking, dumbass.
Yeah, hey, listen, they should run with that.
I agree. Make money off of it, because if you notice in wrestling, Frank, when guys are really pricks, they just make them heels and make money off of it. What's wrong with that?
Run with it. Tell them the fans, he doesn't need the fans. He knows he's good. He knows he's great. He comes from the greatest wrestling family. He is the golden child. What are you going to do about it?
Let me tell you one thing.
Talking about it as a heel. I mean, at least that'll be fresh. At least that'll be... It won't be...
What? Yeah, please, because that's what everyone's fear is. That he's going to be the next John Cena.
The fans are booing him. He's laughing. It's okay. I do this because I love it. Come on, give me a break.
I thank you, Frank. But apparently the people that hate Cena are internet fans. A lot of internet fans at all the shows that John Cena's at, I guess. Yeah.
Don't think WWE doesn't listen. When Stephanie cut that promo on him a month ago, that was them listening to the fans. They listen to the fans. They're just scared of losing their meal ticket.
I don't know why they're scared of it. I mean, because it's like the same logic they use with Bryan. Oh, he'll be popular no matter where he is. Really? Then John Cena, if he's such a draw, could be a draw at the bottom of the fucking card where he belongs.
Oh, the thing with John is, if you turn Cena heel...
It's too far gone. It's too far gone. I gave up on turning Cena heel.
Fuck. You know what's going to happen? The people that boo him now, which, the adults, mostly males, they're going to wind up cheering him. And then
I don't think so, because the last night...
the kids are going to wind up booing him.
I don't think that's going to be the case, because on Monday Night Raw, when he came out, they were singing John Cena sucks.
Yeah, but they're doing that because it's his character. They don't hate John Cena. They hate his character. The fans, trust me, the fans, they respect John Cena. And he does have good matches every time. You can't take that away from him.
I don't respect him. I don't respect him at all. I do not.
You don't respect him because he's a stupid character.
No, what I don't respect about John Cena is that he uses troops and sick children as human shields.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's his character. It's that phoniness. He's just a big phony. His character's big. He comes out there with all these T-shirts and hats. Guarantee you in 6
months, Roman Reigns will have colorful T-shirts.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. But guys, that's going to do it for Frank and I. We haven't decided on our location for WrestleMania yet because I'm not having a group at my house. This will be the first time in years I'm not doing it. I will not pay for a pay-per-view that does not feature the best wrestler in the world in at least a marquee match. I refuse. But hope you guys enjoy the show. I will not. And yes, I will still be watching. Because when you are a fan of something, you don't throw in the towel. I've been watching the Mets suck for 25 years. Does that mean I stopped watching the team? No. I've been watching the Islanders for one full season. They are in a bad slump right now. Does that mean I stopped supporting the team? No. That's my response to people who say, oh, if you don't like it, then why do you watch? Because I've been a fan for 20 fucking years. That's why.
And you hope that it's going to get better.
Absolutely. And plus, it gives me a great excuse to hang out with Frank. I mean, what the hell is better than that? But anyways, you guys have a good weekend. And Frank and I will be back with our next show the weekend following WrestleMania with the results. I already can't wait for that, Frank. I think our show is going to be better than WrestleMania.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We will see. And you guys take care, stay safe, and enjoy WrestleMania if you can.